All right, hell yeah. So what I'm going to do is explain kind of the surfing process. What we have here is a small hole. It kind of pushes me to the left and to the right. So see how I'm on the left side of it, and I can go sideways up against it. We're going to be talking about how we can spin around on it, how the boat bites in, kind of where I jump around. So this first one was hell yeah. It was pretty dynamic. So everything's in chronological order. And so here's the second surf that I do. This was a classic technique. And see, now I'm on YouTube, so I can kind of go back to this, and we're going to watch this. So classic technique, if the wave is bigger, you can just turn your boat up against it, because now you're just definitely going to rotate at least a 180 and then plug. But even just right here, I don't really know what's going on, and then I just get pieced out. But we get more of the hang of it. This side, at this low flow, I was able to paddle in. We'll talk about that because that's offside. Really glassy in the middle. So I'm really shooting over for this hole. And once I am up against it, hell yeah, it's really sticky. And I can kind of side surf against it. So that's basically what we're going to be looking at today, is how to use this hole. So even just like right here, this is going to be the classic scenario. So I'm approaching this hole, the front of my nose dips and kind of establishes the surf. Because this hole, even though this hole is small, my boat does go pretty vertical. Because this hole is, let's say, like a mound or like a pyramid, it's sloped on all sides. Even the back side is sloped, and definitely sloped back in. But see, I get pushed to the left side of it. So for this video, we're going to be saying surfers left, surfers right. So that's the left side over there on that hole. Once I'm over here, I really want to, shift my weight back towards the hole. That's really important. And then angle back towards it. And this is a perfect level where I can go sideways up against here, really high siding the boat, get a big deep purl. So I'm going to use that term. I'm just going to, as it bites. And because it has to ride and get pushed more vertical, that hole does stop it, and I'm able to, maintain, sometimes turn, sometimes just side surf back in. And now even just right there. So once I do that, now I'm surfing, my boat's angled this way, I'm actually surfing over to the right side of the hole. So now the hole is just kind of right there, and I can kind of rotate around that hole. So once I do rotate the boat back up, now I'm going sideways the other way, and my boat still has a chance to dip back down the hole. Now over here, in that process, I went from right to left, and now I'm spinning out, and there's nothing over here to catch my momentum, and so we just peace out. But I'm able to at least do that same thing twice, and heck yeah, just kind of working on those weight shifting skills. Really impressed with myself. This is offside, trying to paddle into this wave at that level, coming over here, establishing the surf, having the boat go up against it. But even just right there, just having spatial awareness that, heck yeah, my boat is catching the surf. It goes like kind of more vertical. Now I'm caught, and I'm going to ride back down into it. But because this wave is a pyramid, now I've already slid to the left side. And I kind of know that in this case. And I'm just trying to make sure the boat is angled to the right or better, so I can kind of do it again. So heck yeah. And this one's going to be classic, because why didn't I stick it twice? Well, so this time, heck yeah, I stick it. Now my boat's riding over to this side. But now, as I'm going in sideways, like right there, I probably shouldn't have taken that. Well, it doesn't really matter. So I'm sideways and side surfing, but this wave is pushing me towards the right. And so once I go in for this bite, there is nothing for my boat to catch. Now the bigger part of the wave is behind me. And if I really wanted to catch this wave, there's no point high siding here. I should be just jumping for this low side maybe over here. But in general, just kind of spatial awareness of where you are. So heck yeah, that time I just rode all the way over onto the left. So sometimes I come in here and bite and then have my boat surf to the left. This time I'm just paddling over around the wave and then turning back into this hole and then going up for a side surf. Heck yeah. And I'm just trying to that wasn't a very good demonstration of trying to low side. This one is. So I establish the surf, move to the left, have my boat go sideways, and then just right here I'm trying to get my body weight back down into the wave. So we're going to take a look at that one. So even just right here, we're going to kind of slow it down. So my boat bites, and I'm trying to shift my weight back down into the wave, just trying to get my body weight on this side of that teeter-totter. All right, heck yeah. So this is offside, really leaning, making sure the other part of my boat doesn't purl. It gives me the fastest motion up against that hole. Do some spinning. See, it pushes me to the right, so that's classic. We already have identified that if I get pushed to this right side, it's just going to push me out, even though I spin up against the hole. All right, so now I spun up against the hole. I'm over on the left. I'm able to spin again, and then kind of do a really nice side surf. But even just that, well, now we hung on again. This is a really good one. Very dynamic. Heck yeah. So let's look at that one all the way through, because that was decent. So establish the surf, or just turn right up against the hole. So that sometimes you don't need to be on the other side. You can just be like, hey, the hole is underneath me. I'm going to let my boat just turn sideways, and I know I can just spin on top of that wave like a top. Now, spatially aware, now I am on this left side. I can go back up against the wave, go for that side surf. This is sweet because if I hold on, so typically, the last time that it didn't work, I was here in a side surf, and then my boat was angled this way, and then so I just kind of pieced out this right side. But right here, this is just knowledge to me. I'm on top of this wave, but my body is spinning the other way. So, and even just let me take you to that point again, because this is really good for me. So like right here, I'm on the left side. I know that this next time I spin up against it, I'm going to have momentum towards this right side. But if I can get the boat angled this way, you know what I mean, then kind of slide, it's going to push me back over to that left side. So I can just, and then this is a very stable spot. Anytime where you're just kind of high siding up against the smiley part of the wave, very stable. I'm going to move over to this right side, and then able to do it again. So how do I get pieced out on this one? Just right there. And this is classic too. You know how I said I get pieced out on this right side? Well, over here it's really glassy too. The main part of this hole is right here. So even just spinning up here, there's not enough of my front of my boat or side of my boat is going up against the vertical part of this hole. And so it just easily gets washed over. All right, so continuing on. All right, heck yeah. And so going for it, you know what I mean? This wave is small. At the end, I do a pretty good one. But the classic is like, hey, we have a hole. Let's just spin up against it, because I know I can instantly do a 180. But I kind of do like a 45 or a 9 or a 270, and then bite and then get pieced out and fall out. All right, so establish the surf, probably move to the left side, turn my boat sideways up against it, get ready for the high side, and then, but again, we can slow this down. So when my boat bites, I'm letting the boat buck up underneath me and then trying to drop my body weight down into the boat, you know what I mean? Even though this is a small feature, I've definitely wanted to make this video because you should, try to find the smallest feature that can hold your boat. I mean, this feature is decent because it's a fairly, I mean, for a tiny hole, at least it's a hole, and it makes your boat kind of go vertical. All right, so hell yeah. So just this one's a pretty dynamic one. Establishing that side surf, getting my weight up over the teeter-totter. Once I'm on top, I got options. See how it spins, and I can kind of paddle back in. Heck yeah. That time was probably pretty decent because I'm over here on the right side. Well, yeah, that was just interesting. Knowing that I'm already, like, this is the deepest part of the hole, trying to really lean and then capture it. We get pieced out there. But let's watch this one all the way through again. All right, so hell yeah. establish the surf, go for the side surf. Kind of got bucked up to the top, but good enough. We talked about that pivot point. Now I'm on this right side, just really low siding, trying to get my body, and then having that pivot point be a decent spot to like get back in. Usually it just pieces me out, but that is pretty nice. All right, moving on. All right, so yeah, the next surf. We're already over to the left side, so when we turn up against, we're just right into that side surf. Just trying to really get my body weight down. And this, I'm trying to not use the paddle. So we established, we got the paddle in the water here, but the second I buck, now I'm just trying to low side and then just really figure out where my weight shifting is front and back, to really try to get that boat back into that hole every time. So heck yeah, that was a good one. And there should be another one where, yeah, I don't really use my paddle. I'm just trying to low side my body weight on that side of the teeter-totter. Okay, so we're coming in this side. We're going to turn sideways. And there you go, really leaning, making sure it doesn't bite. And this right here, you can always do this on a hole. So I'm on the left side. Now if I just really lean into it, my boat's not going to bite. And where am I going to go? Well, I'm going to smiley face all the way around this hole to this side. And then so see how now I'm over on this side? And this was a fairly decent thing to do, because typically if I'm over here, I could just have the back spin. I could have this boat just spin all the way, you know what I mean? Because I'm already leaning on the hole. But this actually saved the day of being like, hey, just throw the nose in and then just make the spin more dynamic. Because then I was able to, that was a very stable spot. So again, what I'm talking about is if I just smiley face all the way up and around, then it kind of smiley faces me back in. But this way, high side smiley face, and then allow that side to just kick me into a 180. And right here, we have enough of our body weight over that hole that is just and that gave me a lot of time to square up. So I'll definitely, I'm still learning on the fly too, but I will definitely now throw that in my wheelhouse. All right, so hell yeah, offside paddling into this wave, establish the side surf. Trying to just, really teeter-totter my boat, but not too much so it doesn't purl. So that was classic, where I'm just like, hey, I'm trying not to use my paddle. I'm just trying to get my body where, I don't want to jump in too much, you know what I mean? And so anytime my boat feels like it's going in, I can jump kind of on top of the wave, and then it allows my boat to pivot and doesn't purl as much. And then... Heck yeah, and then I'm just able to do these spins right there, even though that was just a couple. That was pretty decent. All right, let's see what we do here. Okay, I'm establishing the surf over on the right. Usually this is the best way to go. Do one and done, but now I get pushed to the left side so I can do a turn up against the wave, get my body to be on that side of the teeter-totter, use the top of the wave to kind of spin where I want. All right, get pieced out. All right, next one. Okay, establish the surf, get probably to this left side of the hole, and then spin up against the, do some side surfing. But hell yeah, just this is a great level where the top of that wave can act as a pivot. I'm still on that left side, so I was able to do. It's kind of, that's the reset button. Anytime like you're on a wave and you're like, hey, this left side is kind of my reset to do some spins up against it, because that's kind of where it throws me. It throws me to this left side. I can turn sideways, do a little side surf, get my body low, and I love just working that side surf. All right, fell out on that one. All right, so we're almost towards the end. Heck yeah. So again, this is the classic where I'm turning up into the hole, so it's kind of just a different style. I know I can instantly do a 180, but again, it's, man, I don't have anything in my wheelhouse to make that 100% every time. So this is going to be just the way to go. Just, establish this surf on this, sideways, and once I am sideways, then I can pivot, get onto that left side and do it again. All right, but we do pretty good on this one. So this one is, these next couple are pretty decent. All right, so this one's just classic left side, go in for the side surf, really using that body, you know, not too much of the paddle, just kind of making the boat slide in, not purl too much. And heck yeah, use that top of the wave for pivoting, and then just go back in again. Hell yeah, back to that. But we get pieced out. So this really shows that if I'm on that right side, I get pieced out too easy. All right, but this one, we're kind of second to last. Maybe we got 3 more. But classically, I go spin up against it that way. Oh, that was decent. So finally able to do it. Go up against it and then spin and then weight shift, and then just make sure when I'm done spinning, I'm ruddering back towards the right, so I'm not getting pieced out that left side. But now I can kind of do it again. Heck yeah. But wave's pretty small, so it's pretty easy to get sliced out. All right, this one's a good one. We do some side surfing. Let's look it all the way through. You know what I mean? I'm kind of leaning, doing a lot of smiley facing, and kind of, you know, back to the hole. You know, back to the upstream part of the wave. So let's take a look at that one and kind of finish this video up. We got one after this, but so what we do here is allow the boat to spin just up against it, kind of sideways. But now I know I'm going to, so I was on the right side. I allowed my boat to spin. Now I'm technically on the left side. This hole is right here. So now I'm on this higher side. I'm high siding, getting my paddle in, or just kind of leaning out. But I know my body weight being over on this side is going to smiley face me around this wave, and I'm not going to you know, purl very hard. So heck yeah, do it again. But even just right here, it doesn't look like much, but I'm like mentally and physically leaning out pretty decently to make sure I ride around this wave and not bite. So we do it a couple times, and you know, and this is a fairly stable place to just do that 3 or 4 times. So we do it 3 times in a row. So you know what I mean? This is something that I should get pretty good at, because just finding these stable positions. In a kayak, this is exactly what you would do. You know, just have your boat roll around the smiley face of that wave. All right, hell yeah. So we got one more. No, that's it. So thanks for joining me, and guess what? That's a video.